Hey guys, so here we are. This is part 3 of these Hondas that I got. And this particular one is pretty much how to change a belt. Now, the belt on these motors, because you have to deal with the blade clutch, which is kind of a hassle, I must say. You know, Hondas are great machines, but they sure don't make them easy to work on. Now, the reason I have this out, you could probably do it while it's in the machine, but I have it out because some of you that may not know, this engine is going on that platform right there. This came out of a different unit that was pretty hacked up, and the deck was not that great a condition. So that one had a parts motor on it. That one had a parts motor on it that I've been using for this, because as I'll get to in a minute, now some of you guys remember the spring deal. So I did try to make another video of how to do that, or what I was trying to do. I used this to get it apart, just slowly spread it apart until the spring come out. And I tried to do it to put it back together. It wasn't working. In fact, it just kind of went shooting everywhere. But so what I did is I put a long bolt. Where did I put it? Let's see if I can find it. Long bolt like this through it with a couple of big washers on each end, and compressed it as far as I could, and then I put these zip ties in there to help. You can see it's really compressed in here. And then let me find another piece. I'll be right back. Okay, so here's a spring out of the parts engine. You can see how much it's compressed. And this is a rod that goes through it. So I compressed it enough to get this rod in there. And of course I had to take the bolt out of it after I got the zip ties in there, which is tricky because the zip ties like to slide around because it's a spring, you know. And then there's 2 cap washers that go on either end of this. Now, there may be a tool that's used for these. I don't know. There's a hole in these. So I don't know if, you know, because I don't know another reason why that hole would be there. So anyway, I'm still... Okay, let's back up here. So this is our clutch, right? And it's just consists of a few pieces here. I'll go through that more later. This is the piece that was on this motor, and this is the part. There are brake pad or like material in here. I didn't notice that before, which, you know, it's all beveled and grabs onto there for your clutch. It starts the blade to move. Now remember, I was trying to put a belt on here, and I thought there should have been another piece on top of here, and I couldn't find it. I'm like, where the heck is it? I can't take it out now, but I don't know if I can. I probably can't slide it out enough. This piece is broken. The pulley part actually broke off. This is off the parts motor, which had the pulley on it. I was looking at it, and it's actually sheared right off right around here. And it wasn't anywhere. So somebody had been in here before, took that piece out. That could have been the whole reason why that drive didn't work in that mower. So he went and took it apart. If he would have just gotten one of these, he'd have been fine. Maybe he didn't want to pay for it. I don't know. Because remember, all these mowers are all parts or mowers that were given to me, various problems. I don't know what's wrong with half of them, but anyway. So then there you go. I suspect that was the reason why. So that transmission and that other one I trashed might be okay. I don't know. It's another hydrostatic, whereas the one we're putting it in over here is a 2-speed gear drive. So we've got it's a shim that goes in first. That was in a video I tried to make earlier on doing this. I was kind of showing you how to get it together, but this spring was really causing me problems. And I kind of lost my cool, and, when you start, telling things that they're having relations with goats, it's, time to walk away for a while, which I did. And then I kind of got this far with it off camera. So I hope you guys kind of understand how I did this. So then after that, after the shim and the pulley piece and this part of the clutch, which is all one piece, then there's another shim that goes on there. And there's a keyway in there too. And this is just 3 pieces. It's this disc piece, which is like a brake too, and that's why these pads are here. That'll stop it then. And there's just this little tin piece. And then there's this deal. Now you got to make sure there's a bearing in here. You got to make sure that's good. And this thing is just smooth. Very nice shape. So it goes on there like that. Then see there's teeth it has to fit into like that. Now this nut or bolt we'll hold it on there so we can take this off, in theory. Now remember, this is the first time I'm doing this, so I've done a lot of work on these before, carburetors, transmission works on these kind of Hondas. I've never dug into the blade clutch on them. But I had to on this one because we had to change this belt, which is the whole reason we're doing this. As you can see, I did pressure wash everything. Okay. So that's that. And let's see. I'd actually like to put the cable on, but I think I'm just going to use the one that's in it, so we'll have to figure out putting the cable on when it's in the machine. But see, I'm pretty sure I can tighten this down. And then we need to cut these off, but I don't. Kind of want to make sure. Okay. So let's get a side cutter and cut those. Trying to make sure there's should be nothing else. Now you see it's bent to where it's hitting this, and it's actually the way it was, and you can see it was rubbing right here before on this part of the spring. Maybe you can't, I don't know. So I do believe we're ready to put it in now. Now, along with getting this cable on, we also have to get the belt onto the transmission. When it's all said and done, we have to go through. It does run, we know that, because in the first video I filmed it running. So we know it runs, but I still want to go through this carburetor. In fact, maybe right now I'm going to take, just for giggles, if I can find a 10 millimeter. That I swear I just had. Well, let's see. All right, hang on. Okay. I've pressure washed this thing, so, and I had it upside down too, so there could be oil in here, there could be water in here, and yeah. So the bowl's a little dirty. It's not too bad. And really, considering this thing had sat outside, literally outside, with only half of it covered, for many, many years, doesn't look too bad. So we're just going to put this back on, and we'll go through it later on. I was just curious. Maybe you were too, I don't know. So I'm going to get this table cleaned off and get the deck right there up here so we can get the engine on and all that fun stuff. Hang on. All right, guys, so I'm going to see if I can get the cable on here now before I bolt it in. And let's see if we can't. Put that down there like that. Now, I raised the mower all the way to its full height, but I couldn't get this back wheel to raise up. So I just put a block of wood under it. Now, here's our cable. Slides in like that. Like that. And it's got this little clip. It's supposed to hold it in place. So okay. See there? It's working. Damn belt keeps getting in the way. Okay, I think I got it. Now, like everything else, it's got to be just a stubborn cow. Don't really like how it's on this side of this cable. We'll have to either redo this one or take this one off from up top. I don't know. We'll figure it out when we get it bolted up so we can flip it around. Now, still not completely done. Okay, now it takes these big bushings, I guess you call them. They go up underneath with these bolts, like so, go into the engine block. Now, let's see if we can reach under there blindly and oh, this one already has one in it. That's why I couldn't feel it. So now I lost it. seam. Oh my God, everything's got to fight me on this thing. I don't get it. All right, it started, but I don't want to go very far. Just don't think there's any way around this. I have to tip it on its side. That one started on that side, but I think it's cross-threading or something, so it's not really in there. This one, I don't know what's going on. That's the cable. Binding things up. Well, I think I'm going to tip it on its side. Hang on. Okay, guys, I know it's glary and all that crap, so not really sure why this one won't start. This first one started for sure. I mean, I can turn it by hand. So the deal might be with that one is it's just not getting aligned, but somehow I have to try and wiggle the motor. Find out where I'm at here. Not really sure what the hold up here is. I mean, it's not getting in there at all. I think it might help some if try and tighten this other one up. Take some slack out of it anyway. It's leaning. Not that I wanted it tight. This is what I got. Flying blind here, I can't see anything. This one is a little loose. And we can't put the other two back in the back until we get this belt routed and onto the transmission, and put that cover on, because the cover is what the two bolts have to go through. I don't know what's going on here. Sure, it's like watching paint dry at this point, right? So, here we go. I'm going to pause you once again. Okay, guys, so I got it fully tipped on its side, and which we're going to need anyway to do the rest. But I think I got it figured out. If I push up on this, I think it lines up. My battery's dying. It just stops. I have to restart. I don't want it real tight right now anyway, because we still have to put the back two in when we're done with all this, so we'll tighten it up later. This might be tough to do now because I'm going to try and put you guys in the... Can't really get you much higher. Oh, sorry. Jeez. Nothing but the best. Nothing but the best for you guys, right? So what has to happen as soon as I get this kind of in position is this. Oh, you guys can't see. I'm going to try and... I got to figure out the stand you're in. Hang on. Okay. Well, I can hear it's getting really windy outside. It was like close to 60 today. And tomorrow it's going to be 30 degrees out of the wind. And it's supposed to be, 20, 30 mile an hour winds and snow. So it'll probably melt though, so I'm not real worried about it. Anyway, back to the task at hand. We gotta try and bring this like out, and so we can fit the belt on. And what I did last time, or a couple times, is I put a ratchet strap on here so it would pull this down like that so I could get the belt on. So we're going to get that set up. I have to once again pause you so I can get it set up. So here we are, guys. Be patient with me, because you never know, I might just lose mine. Things will get interesting. Okay, so I got the ratchet strap on here. Now the idea is when I start ratcheting it, it'll pull like this. Okay. There's a whole lot of tension on it right now. Let's hope it doesn't give way when my fingers are in there. I've done this before, doing transmissions. So I know it works. Can't see the back of it. Actually think we have to go a little bit more. This need better finger holes, you know. There's one problem. Our belt. There we go. That might help. No wonder it's being such a pain. It's like I've done this before. Why is this being so hard? And it's still just not quite. It's almost there. Okay. Do believe we have it now. Took a little finesse. We got her. There. Just like that. Yep. Okay, so